Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. My name is Jaime, and first of all, I'd like to thank you all for taking time out your day for spending time with me while I come out here and do my rants. But I like to have fun with some of these headlines, and sometimes I catch somebody saying some crazy shit, and you just can't ignore it. So I'm hearing this interview, and it's just bananas to me how all the time it's just always a new threat. There's always a new threat, like something for us to be like terrified for, like just run for our lives type shit. There's never like no light or good news at the end of the tunnel. It's just always some new threat. And lately, the new thing they want us to be afraid of is like the power grid. Okay, so there's like this new threat, like it could be a solar flare or a big giant EMP. And it's going to come through and like take us all down. They said they'd knock all the electronics out and put us back down to the Stone Age. Okay? But what are they really afraid of? Like just because we're losing electricity, like we're all going to lose electricity, like now we can't cook. Like now we can't cook with a fire. Like now we don't have grills. Everybody's like, well, I got a gas grill. Well, you have to use some fucking wood in your backyard now. Like also we just don't know how to cook, or also we don't know how to farm. Like that's what I think the real fear is. The fear to me isn't the electricity thing at all. I think it's like the control. Like think about it. Electricity goes out. No bill collectors can call you. Like they can't even email you. Like they can't even like send you an email or like call your work. Like them creditors and shit. Like I'm calling your work right now. Like you can't even go to work if there's no power. And then that means if you're not, going to work or making money, then there's no tax income for our super government. And that's what I think they're more afraid of. Like if there really is like a something coming at the planet, like there's always a new asteroid too. Like another asteroid's coming, right? So an asteroid's coming. Just like those movies you see, they ain't gonna tell us because we won't be we will stop like right now. Everybody will be like, fuck it. If it's on its way, even if they knew it was like 10 years from now, it's gonna be like 10 years from now, everybody won't go to work. Like, fuck, why do I want to waste these 10 years working? That's why they wouldn't tell you if it's coming anyways. But I think the more fear is the control. Like, they just want to like seriously control us, But yeah, there could be some pros and cons to it, of course. Like I said, no bills. Or maybe there is bills, but they have to try to mail it to you. And we'll see how long that takes. They probably go fast because it seems like when we owe them, they can get a hold of us really quick. But if they owe us something, like we just can't get a hold of nobody, or we just need some kind of information. Even if we just need some information, you ain't getting a hold of no human. But with all the electricity gone, I don't know. It's pretty wild. But I think it's crazy. Like they're just afraid of it. Like we just go back to the Stone Age. Like we just won't be able to cook and eat no more. Shit. I think we'll be okay. Like I said, I mean, there might be tough winters when we figure out how to get some warmth. But I don't think it'll be that long before we get some, because we got some smart, innovative people. Before some people are like, look, man, I made this bomb ass heater. You can warm it on the outside, keep the heat on the inside, like a different type of fireplace. And so everybody, I think that's what they'll be tripping on more was this, like the more losing control. And then you see Mr. Cat Williams going out here talking all these crazy secrets in Hollywood, right? He's like going all crazy and like dropping all these truth bombs. Are they true? Or was he just trying to like promote some of his new special stuff? I don't know. You got some of them people pretty nervous, But like I said, I feel like it's more of that the control thing. But anyways, he goes out here speaking all this truth and starting all this controversial drama, talking everybody's dirt and whatnot. And a lot of people don't seem to be calling him a liar too much. You see this saying a lot. Like they'll say some people's crazy, but they still haven't called the person a liar yet. And we'll have to find out, because now like after all this big interview, like he's got me like watching TV like way different. I'm watching TV like super different now. I'm watching this movie like, man, that movie's funny as hell. Man, that guy's so funny. Like he might have sucked dick for that role. Damn. And you're like watching these good ass movies and you're like, phew. How many people got it to get this role? Like, I'm just watching all these new films now, like Academy Awards and the Golden Globes and the Oscars now, right? And all these new films are out. And it's like, man, you're just looking at everybody. So I just can't help it. I'm just looking at y'all way different lately. This is just a way different outlook when I'm watching movies now. Like, who took it? Like, this should be a new drinking game when you're watching films. Like, who took it in the ass or who had to take it in the mouth or like who had to do it at the same time. Like, it just be wild. It's just a wild game to play. It's a wild game you could be playing. But the same wild games you be playing with our damn borders, Like, our borders are crazy right now. And everything's kind of crazy right now. But, that's what brings me back to some of these headlines, And I got a couple of strange headlines this year. And, one of the main ones is okay. So they got this new product. Okay, they're like, hey, take a look at new IKEA's new limited edition Ninja hot dogs, and they're in Japan right now. And I guess it's this new big sensation. Look, it looks like it don't even look real. Okay, you already see controversial videos of people over there, like I don't know where exactly, over in Asia somewhere, and they're making like fake vegetables and shit. This burger does not look real. It looks like those fucking fireworks when you light the fucking little piece of charcoal or whatever, and they're like little. It's supposed to be a snake that comes out, but it's just a big thing of ashes, and everybody's like, "Oh, the snake!" You know, that's what this hot dog looks like. And piece of inside, two more of the fatter snakes. Like, it just don't look right. It look like this don't even look like shit. Like it just looks different than even shit. It just looks like you're eating like rubber product or some kind of ejection molding. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but don't put this in your body. If this comes here, don't put it in your body, humans. Just don't do this to yourself. Please don't do it. So they say Taylor Swift right now could sway the 2024 election outcome. A new poll finds a fifth of voters are likely to back whatever one she backs. And then recently in a news article, they were like, Biden's about to go on tour with Taylor Swift, her next tour, because he's trying to get votes and shit. Like old ass Biden's going to be on her tour. Like, you can see Biden out there, shake it up, like, see him trying to dance and shit. At least he'll get lost on stage in front of all those Swiftie fans. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But this could be interesting. You know, I wonder how much they would be paying her, if they didn't already pay her, because everybody's been bragging on the TV about, you know, all the revenue she brought to the Chiefs Stadium and to the Kansas City Chiefs and stuff like that. And like everybody's like, this is strange and blah, blah, just because of this relationship came at the same time. Travis Kelce got the big Pfizer contract. He got this big Pfizer deal. You see him doing these commercials like, get 2 for 1, bing, bing. You know, he's doing all these, you know, big pharma commercials and shit. At the same time, she's doing this big marketing thing. And it's like this. And then you're like, oh, and then people are trying to say like, and I love me some football. Like, oh, is the NFL rigged and yada, yada. Okay. Either way, I'm not sure about that. But it's really interesting when these two big marketing things come together at the same time. These teams land in the big game. You know, like they land in the big game. And like I said, he's got this big, I wonder how, after all these big marketing things in your faces and they're talking about all these products, can't wait to see what the commercials are like in the big game. Like every commercial is going to be sponsored by Pfizer, you know, like sponsored by Pfizer, like damn everything, you know what I'm saying? Pepsi, sponsored by Pfizer, you know what I'm saying? NFL is now Pfizer. You know, like they're going to change the football logo to a fucking needle or some shit. Like, who knows what's going to happen now? Because like, it seems like they're going to it just feels like a big marketing scheme. Like they're just going to ruin the whole game. Regardless of who's playing in the game, the whole thing's going to be this big media. And now they're talking about next year, more streaming people are like, oh, we had such success, you know, people paying for streaming services to watch these games. So which means next year's Super Bowl, the one after, probably ain't going to be free no more. And we're not talking like, oh, go to pay-per-view. We're talking about you have to have the streaming service, like $25 a month, and then you got to watch the fucking big game that way. Like, all our sports ain't going to be free no more. They used to be free, and they're, like, disappearing more and more. But some sports are going to start coming free. Like, if you got a bad sports team, like, your team probably will be free. or if you got, like, sports just failing really bad, like WNBA, like, might be free. like the big games, you know, they got World Series, you know, the big game. They don't want you to say the name for some super reason. And like all the other the World Cup and like all these shit, you know, we're going to have to pay for it all. And we'll see if people do it. I mean, if you guys do it, I mean, that's, you know, fair game to you, but a lot of people probably won't. This might resist some things and we'll see if numbers change and it could come back in our favor or maybe not. But it's getting bananas if I got to start paying for my sports more. Because I love the fight game, and you got to occasionally pay for the pay-per-views, whatever ones you want to fight, and you get lucky sometimes. They'll be like, here's a free event on YouTube, or here's one, like to give you the prelims on ESPN and things like that. But lately, it sounds like it's just going to be straight up. You're going to have to pay for sports pretty soon, and it's sounding more and more like that, and that's going to suck. As a sports fan, that's some bullshit. That's all I got to say about that. Is just some bullshit. Well, my name is Simon, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.